Imagine for a second that everything in your life just starts to flow. The right people just appear. Opportunities open up like totally effortlessly. Your mind feels clear and you're just at peace. So what if this isn't some fantasy? What if it's the direct result of your inner energy?
All right, let's really dive into this because this one question, it changes everything. The whole idea here is that everything you experience, we're talking your health, your relationships, your success, it's all a direct response to a frequency you are constantly putting out there. The universe isn't really responding to what you want, it's responding to who you are being, energetically speaking.
And this is absolutely the most crucial point. We're not talking about a temporary high, the kind you get from a good day or a nice meditation session. No, we're talking about a fundamental shift. The real, true transformation happens when you learn how to sustain an elevated vibration, to make it your natural, default state, no matter what's going on around you.
Now, you might be thinking this idea sounds kind of new agey or modern, but honestly, it's one of the oldest truths in human history. It's a universal law that's popped up in the wisest traditions all over the globe for centuries. You can see this amazing pattern all through history. Go back to ancient Egypt and you'll find the Hermetic teachings talking about the principle of vibration. In Vedic India, they called it spanda, the sacred pulsing beat of consciousness. Shamanic traditions viewed every living thing as having its own internal melody. And now, get this, even modern quantum physics is confirming that when you get down to the subatomic level, everything, it's all just vibrating energy.
This quote from the Hermetic text, the Kybalion, just sums it up so perfectly. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. This isn't just a poetic idea. It's literally a description of reality. You are not a static thing. You are a frequency in constant motion. And the best part? You can consciously change that frequency.
Okay, so if everything is vibration, what actually makes up your personal frequency? It's not some abstract thing out there. It's the living, breathing sum of everything you are, right here in this moment.
So, first up is thought and perception. The real game changer isn't what happens to you, but how you choose to see it. If your mind is on a loop, constantly repeating judgments, fears, and criticisms, well, you're anchoring yourself to a low vibration. The big shift happens when you move from just automatically reacting to things to consciously observing them.
Next, let's talk about sustained emotion. And this is a really important distinction. This is not about pretending you're not angry or sad. It's about the emotional home you choose to live in day to day. The feeling you always come back to, whether that's gratitude or resentment, that's what sets your vibrational baseline. It tells the universe who you are.
And then there's your relationship with the present. Think about it. The past is just a memory. The future is just imagination. Your real power is only ever right here, right now. When you're dwelling on old hurts or worrying about the future, you are literally scattering your energy field. The present moment is the only place where your energy becomes orderly, coherent, and super powerful.
And all of this brings us to what is maybe the most potent factor of all, internal coherence. This is the ultimate goal, really. It's when what you think, what you feel, what you say, and what you do are all in perfect, beautiful harmony.
And this just illustrates the difference so clearly. On the left, you've got that incoherent state. You're saying one thing, like, I believe in abundance, but you're feeling fear, and then you're acting out of lack. See how that fractures your energy? But on the right, you've got coherence. Your thoughts, words, and actions are all singing the same tune. And that creates an incredibly powerful magnetic field. The universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to the frequency you actually embody.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but if it's that simple, why is it so incredibly hard to maintain that high vibe state in the real world? Well, this is where the real work begins.
So what gets in our way? Well, first, there's what we could call energetic relapse. That moment you start feeling really good, and then bam, an old insecurity or anger just bubbles right up to the surface. Then you've got the collective noise, all the fear and comparison from the world around us. And finally, there's the sneaky trap of the spiritual ego, where you start feeling like you're better than others, which ironically is a super low-frequency state.
And this brings us to a question that I think absolutely everyone struggles with. When you have a bad day, when you get angry or feel anxious after you've been trying so hard, does that mean you've failed?
No, absolutely not. And this is such a powerful way to reframe it.
It's not a failure, it's a recalibration. Imagine you're tuning a guitar. At first, the strings might make some weird, dissonant sounds before they hit the right note. Your energy system is exactly the same. It's just learning how to hold a new, higher, more stable frequency. Those messy moments, they're part of the tuning process.
So how do we actually do this? How do we make this a real, lived experience, day in and day out? Well, that brings us to the practical, nuts and bolts tools for mastering your energy.
Okay, here are 7 pillars for this new way of living. It all starts the second you wake up. Set your intention for the day before you check your phone. Then, be conscious about what you consume: food, media, conversations. Find little moments of silence to just breathe and come back to your center. Use your words to create, not to complain. Move your body to keep that energy from getting stuck. Practice gratitude for what you already have. That's huge. And finally, get good, deep rest so your system can integrate it all. This isn't just a to-do list, it's a new way of being.
And when you really start to integrate these practices into your life, you can't help but arrive at a pretty profound realization about your place in the universe.
And here it is. This is the ultimate takeaway. You are not just a passive victim of random life events. You are the broadcast tower. You are the one actively creating and sending out the signal that your reality then mirrors back to you. You're the creator.
I just love this quote. In a world that so often runs on fear and distraction, choosing to consciously manage your own energy, it isn't just a nice little self-care practice. It's a revolutionary act. It's you claiming total sovereignty over your own state of being.
So, at the end of the day, this isn't about big, grand gestures. The real work is quiet. It's that daily, unseen commitment you make to yourself to choose the frequency of your own soul over all the noise of the world again and again and again.
And when you truly commit to holding that higher frequency, something almost sacred happens. The universe, basically like a giant mirror, has no choice but to start reorganizing itself around your new energy. Your outer world will begin to reflect your inner state. It has to. So we end on this thought. The universe is in a constant dance of energy. The rhythms and patterns are happening all the time, with or without you. The only real question left is, what rhythm are you going to consciously choose to dance to?